Good morning, students. We have another topic to discuss today in the chapter electrolysis, which is which are the examples of electrolysis. That is, today we are going to discuss some examples based on electrolysis, and we are going to start with electrolysis of molten lead bromide. Lead bromide is PbBr2, and for this we have to take a crucible to carry out the electrolysis process, and this crucible or the container is made of crucible because it requires or it can withstand a very high temperature, because in order to keep lead bromide in a molten state we have to continuously heat it, which requires a temperature above 380 degrees Celsius. So for this purpose we need some crucible which should be capable of withstanding such a high temperature, and this crucible is made of silica. Because silica is non-conductor of electricity and at the same time it can withstand high temperature. Now let us see what will happen when we pass electric current with the help of the battery. You can see the two electrodes are also taken, which are made of graphite. Graphite is an inert electrode which we prefer to the other inert electrode like platinum, because graphite will not be affected by the bromine vapors that may release during the electrolysis process. So let us see, first on passing electric current, lead bromide will get dissociated to give lead ion and bromide ion as follows. So these are the two ions that will be formed during during the dissociation of lead bromide. Now we cannot show the ionization of water here because it is not a solution, since it is a molten state of lead bromide, so water will not be there, and so no ionization of water is required to be shown. Next we have to see which side it will be migrating towards and will get discharged. Lead ion, as you can see, is positively charged, so it will be discharging at the cathode. We can write at cathode Pb2 plus will gain 2 electrons and will be changed to lead. And this lead we find it depositing on the graphite as a grayish white color. Same way, this bromide ion, which is negatively charged, will be discharging at the anode. So at anode, bromide ion on losing one electron will change to Br atom, neutral bromine atom. But as you know, since it is an unstable atom, so two such bromine atoms will combine and will be changed into bromine vapor or bromine gas. It is this bromine vapor that we can find coming out towards the anode, and the color of bromine vapor is brown. So we find two observations here during the electrolysis of molten lead bromide, that at the cathode a grayish white solid will be deposited, which will be nothing but lead, and at the anode side we find a brown vapor being released, and this brown vapor is bromine gas or bromine vapor. Let us see another example of electrolysis of water. So our next examples of electrolysis will be electrolysis of water. So you know that pure water is poor conductor of electricity. So we will be taking acidified water, which can be made by adding few drops of sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid is required here to make water acidified because it is a non-volatile acid. So we do not take any other acid like nitric acid or hydrochloric acid. Now, when we pass current to it, you can see the two electrodes are taken, which are made of platinum, which is connected to negative terminal and positive terminal of the battery, making the first electrode as the cathode and the second electrode as anode. Now, if these two containers you find, the gases being released, that is hydrogen and oxygen gas, will be collected in the ratio 2:1. Now, when we pass current to water, it is this water that will be ionized to give H plus and OH minus ion. But since acid is also there, it will also get ionized to give sulfuric acid will be ionized to give hydrogen ion plus sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus. Now if you check the types of ions in the solution, you will find there are hydrogen ion, hydroxyl ion and sulfate ion. Now next part will be to show the discharging process at the cathode and anode. So we can see at cathode, hydrogen ion will be coming towards the cathode where it will gain one electron and it will be changed into neutral hydrogen atom. This hydrogen atom will further combine with another hydrogen atom to form hydrogen gas. And you can see here that at the cathode side, it is this hydrogen gas that will be collected. Now coming to the anode side, at anode, there are two negatively charged ions. But as per the electrochemical series, we find hydroxyl ion is below sulfate ion. So discharging process will be first for the hydroxyl ion, where you can show hydroxyl ion, that is OH minus ion, giving out one electron to change into OH group, hydroxyl group. Again, these two hydroxyl group can be shown to form water and nascent oxygen. This is called nascent oxygen, which is highly unstable. Now the third step, where this nascent oxygen can be shown combining with another nascent oxygen to finally change into oxygen gas. So this is how at the anode side we finally see hydroxyl ion finally converting into oxygen gas. So this oxygen gas can be collected at the top in the volume 1. The ratio will always be 2:1, where 2 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen will be collected. But the reason is also there that why is the gas collected in the ratio 2:1, that is tomorrow we are going to understand this. Thank you.